Hello, welcome. It is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight's headlines. We have the President of the Republic receives the credential of the Ambassador of Federal Republic of Germany. The President of National Assembly leads a consultation meeting with the residents of Salama City. For the International Security Council's call for compliance with ECOWAS recommendations in Mali. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, received today, Tuesday, at the Palace of the Republic, the credential of the new ambassador, extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Michael Hauscher. In a speech delivered during this presentation of his credential to President Guelleh, the new German ambassador expressed his motivations and enthusiasm to work to strengthening economic and bilateral relations and to draw the attentions of German companies to the trade and investment opportunities in Djibouti. He added that the beginning of his mandate coincides with this period of health crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic and expressed his satisfaction that Germany continues notably through the European Union, the United Nations, and its international organizations to support Djibouti in order to mitigate the consequences of the pandemic. It also congratulates the President of the Republic for the commitment and continued assistance of the government in this and people of Djibouti to refugees and migrants. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, also participate in this official ceremony for the presentation of credential. Within the framework of the proximity policy instilled by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, a delegation is led by the President of National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Ahmed, composed of the Minister of Budget, Abdul Karim Aden Sher, the Mayor of Djibouti City, Ms. Fatuma Awali Usman, and several parliamentarians visit yesterday Monday afternoon, the residential city Salama located in Pika 13. The objective was to exchange with the residents of this city to inquire about their situation and possibly find solutions to their problems. The residents expressed themselves by transmitting their grievance on the improvement of access to drinking water, sanitation, and definitions of certain buildings. For her part, the Mayor of Djibouti City, Fatma Awal Osman, has indicated in his speech that this visit is very fruitful. Listen to her.
Allah Ta'ala,
in her intervention during the delegation's meeting with the residents of the Salama community, the mayor of the city of Djibouti, Mrs. Fatima Awal Usman, indicated that this visit is not the first to her, but it bears great importance this time. You have received us with a warm welcome, and we have listened to your complaints and requests carefully. We pledge to submit it to the higher authorities concerned with responding to these requests. We thank you once again for the welcome that we have received and for this fruitful meeting, and we hope that this visit will be repeated.
Minister of Budget Abdul Karim Aden Sher took the floor and stressed the importance of this high delegation visit. Listen to this report.
Honnêtement, la manière dont vous êtes installé est l'exemple même que les Djiboutiens peuvent vivre ensemble.
For his part, the Minister of Budget, Mr. Abdul Karim Adam Sher, indicated that this visit falls within the framework of the policy of promoting social affairs and services drawn up by the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and to stand closely on the living conditions of the people of this neighborhood. He praised the initiative that included taking this tour to Salama and pledged to meet the requirements of the people of Salama. He thanked all those who participated in this meeting with a view to exchanging views and ideas on resolving all complaints submitted to the delegation.
The President of National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Ahmed, has for his part given all his best helpful words to the needy people. Listen to him.
Finally, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Muhammad Ali Hamid, praised the good organization and presentation of proposals by residents of Salama and their holding of this distinguished meeting. Mr. Muhammad Ali Hamid highly valued the government's efforts to build high-quality social housing complexes. The meeting included detailed information about the living conditions and the future perspective of the residents of the new Salama neighborhood. He pledged to meet the needs of the residents and of this residential neighborhood.
Listen once again to Muhammad Ali Hamid, the President of National Assembly.
In the second part of his speech, Speaker of the House of Representatives Mr. Muhammad Ali Hamid mentioned that solutions will be found to water problems and we will send requests to the Minister of Interior to solve them as soon as possible. We will work together with different institutions to manage the water problems and you will be able to put the tank in every home. I will answer you even before I leave the place on the issue of security. We are all there to support you and establish true security for all of our citizens. Parliamentarians and members of government are here to support you.
One of the most important events which opened this morning at the People's Palace was the launching of the second National Development Plan under the aegis of the Minister of Finance, Ilyas Musa Dawale, more specifically presentations of the roadmap of the National Solidarity Pact for Development, the audacious plan 2020-2024, which is inclusively connectivity institutions and which in its architecture and deployment reflects an economic demand that it is urgent to meet a major economic recovery plan to mitigate the consequences of the COVID-19 crisis and to build a sustainable future. This revival plan carries within its three priority matrix, which are the health, economic, and social aspects, thus responding to a multidimensional crisis. All of this is aimed at overcoming this post-COVID crisis with an emergency watchwords in the recovery plan, allowing for the construction of a more resilient society, an objective whose mission is to accelerate Djibouti's development in this new context with a view to achieving the 2035 vision. This meeting brought together the Secretary General of the various sectoral ministries, representative of the UN organizations and civil society. After the speech in the directors of the economy, Mariam Hamadou presented the recovery strategy and the national development plan. This strategy, which allows to rethink Djibouti in a more promising future, all this is a collaborative and participatory approach. And now listen to the representative of the UNDP in Djibouti.
Quite delighted to speak to you today in the first kickstart meeting of the roadmap for the Djibouti EC. Somehow the COVID pandemic happened at the time where the government is actually pursuing the second national development plan. For good or worse, this gave us a time to adjust the planning process and look at new ways of development. For UNDP perspective and engagement comes with an ask from the United Nations Secretary General as a technical lead for the socio-economic assessment of the COVID and response to support the governments under the overall leadership or the coordination of the United Nations Resident Coordinator in different countries. And there are different phases where the process is ongoing in different countries. I think in Djibouti we had a successful first phase of emergency response, so now we are trying to pursue recovery. And as this is a technical meeting, I want to dive a little bit on some of the key technical messages that UNDP is delivering globally. We're looking at different innovative ways with different governments, including the government of Djibouti, to reduce inequalities. And I think this is a key message that I would want to share with the distinguished working group members, and I'm sure that the SGs from different line ministries will take that into consideration.
It was Fatima El Sheikh, the representative of the UNDP in Djibouti, and now the Minister of Finance, Ilyas Musa Dawale, for his part, stressed more specifically a presentation of the roadmap of the National Solidarity Pact for Development, a major economic recovery plan to mitigate the consequences of COVID-19 crisis and build a sustainable future. This recovery plan has three priority matrices: health, economic, and social, thus responding to a multidimensional crisis. All of this is aimed at overcoming this post-COVID crisis with an emergency watch in the recovery plan, allowing for the construction of a more resilient society. An objective Women's mission is to accelerate Djibouti's development in this new context, which are view to achieving the 2035 vision. The Minister of Interior, accompanied by IGAD Executive Secretary and UN official, visits the Al-Awsa quarantine camp. The Minister of Interior, Momin Ahmed Sheikh, accompanied by the Executive Secretary of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Dr. Workne Gabeyu, the Executive Director of the National Office for Assistance to Refugee and Disasters Victims, Hussein Hassan Darar, the representative of International Organization for Migration, Stephanie Devio, and other representative of UN organizations such as World Food Programme, UNICEF, and the representative of European Union, Patrick Jessen, and the ambassador of the French Republic in Djibouti, Arnaud Guillois, visit the Al-Awsa migrant quarantine camp in Ali Sabih region last Sunday. Upon his arrival, the Minister of the Interior was welcomed by the Prefect of Ali Sabih, Moussa Adan Migane, representative of United Nations Organization in Djibouti, and Executive Director of UNACHT. Currently, some 269 migrants, mostly from refugees from Saudi Arabia and Yemen, are staying in this camp, where they will undergo a COVID-19 test before being sent to their countries of origin. Ethiopia. On the spot, the member of the Djiboutian government met with the IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Werkne Gabeyu, the representative of the European Union Patrick Jensen, the ambassador of the French Republic in Djibouti Arnaud Guillois, the representative of International Organization Stephanie Devio, and other officials of the World Food Programme and UNICEF in the country. He told this interlocutor of the incessant flow of migrants who are systematically turned back to the Djiboutian coast and who must be transferred to the quarantine camp of Al-Awsa. The management of the camp by UNACHT is becoming more and more complicated without increasing the assistance from development partners. In their turn, the IGAD, the Executive Secretary, the European representative, and the European Union, the ambassador of the French Republic, and officials of nations all unanimously welcomed the effort made by the government of Djibouti to assist the migrants. For his part, the ambassador of France to Djibouti, Arnaud Guillois, has indicated more for us in this report.
C'était très important d'abord de prendre la mesure de ce qui se passe sur le terrain.
It was very important, first of all, to take the measures of what is happening on the ground, to come and see how migrants, refugees, and vulnerable people are treated here in Djibouti. I think they are treated as well as possible. The Djiboutian government has already said it is doing a quite remarkable job of alleviating the suffering of these people. It is doing so thanks to the international assistance of the European Union, of friends of the United Nations agencies through UNICEF Migration. But I believe that what is important is that regional cooperation can be implemented, because it is clear that when you are a migrant, you come from the Arabian Peninsula. You want to continue to the Horn of Africa. Djibouti is only a transit country, and we must be able to find regional solutions. First of all, I would like to thank the Minister of the Interior for inviting us here on the ground, everything that is happening, and I want to pay tribute to the work of the UNICEF, the police, and everyone who is helping to mitigate this challenge and to manage the lives of migrants crossing this country in the best way possible. The European Union and IGAD are working together to fight COVID across the region, across Africa, and we have signed a 60 billion euro contract with IGAD to help the very, very vulnerable people in the region this summer. Of course, migrants, but also cross-border communities.
The Executive Secretary of IGAD, Workne Gabeyu, has explained more in this video.
Very happy that all our partners are here. This is the issue of humanity. So we have seen today this camp, which the government of Djibouti, the people and government of Djibouti, taking care of a lot of migrants from different areas. I am very thankful for generosity of the people of Djibouti and the government of Djibouti and the people who are working day and night here, and minister for you also. So we are very thankful. As IGAD, as we have strategized our area of COVID intervention on these areas. Number one, this is migration area, internally displaced people, around the borders and as well as all vulnerable communities. So we are very thankful for European Union, which already gave us 60 million euro, which mostly we are intervening on these migrant refugees, internally displaced people, as well as in the border area. So we are very happy to assist not only here, throughout the region to support these migrants, and we'll work in coordination with the government of Djibouti and as well as with other governments in the region. So we will work together, and definitely we will bring all efforts together with our partners as well. So this is a very good visit that show us what we are going to do for the future.
For his part, the Minister of Interior, Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, talked about more displaced people on our country. He told his interlocutor for the incessant flow of migrants who are systematically turned back to the Djiboutian coast and who must be transferred to the quarantine camp of Al Awsa. The management of the camp by owners is becoming more and more complicated without increasing the assistance from development partners, he hammered. The first Djiboutian container ship, Africa Sun, recently inaugurated by the President of the Republic, is docked yesterday at the port of Bosaso to refuel, commissioned on July. The press award ceremony, the Union of the Press de la Francophonie, organized today at the Institute of Diplomatic Study, the press award ceremony, in the presence of the advisor to the Minister of Communication in charge of Post and Telecommunication, Ms. Aisha Mohammed Roble, the ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Zhu Zhichang, and the president of UPF Djibouti, Mr. Kennedy Ibrahim Hussein, as well as many professionals from the writing and audiovisuals media. These four sessions of the press prize, which comes in a particular context with the COVID-19 crisis, saw the consecrations of several journalists who are distinguished by the quality of their work and their dedication. The first prize was awarded to Adin, an experienced journalist from the writing press. He is also a writer, a man of letters. The others prizes were awarded to Awo from RTD and Mr. Mohammed Abdurrahman and Jilani Aleyo. Just before the award ceremony, the participants watched videos presenting the history of the press prize and the Chinese dream. The ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Zhu Zhichang, took the floor in this ceremony. Listen to him.
Ce jour de retrouvailles pour la famille de la presse de Djibouti.
This day of union for the Djibouti press family is all the more significant as the evolution of the epidemic in the country is improving day by day, and this is inseparable from your efforts to raise awareness of the need to respect barrier gestures. I would like to extend my distinguished greetings to you and of course to congratulate all our prize winners today for the excellence of their work. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, for several months now we have been going through an unprecedented health crisis of our back in these difficult times. Even during the days of confinement, you have not stopped your work despite the dangers of being exposed to the virus. It is thanks to you that we have been able to follow the evolution of the epidemic in Djibouti in a timely and objective manner, that we will have been able to be free from fear by informing us of all the useful recommendations to follow. It is above all to you that I wish to pay tribute. Thank you to all our discreet heroes for your courage and dedication to professionalism.
The advisor to the Minister of Communication in charge of Post Telecommunication, Ms. Aisha Mohammed Roble, has hammered in this ceremony. Listen for more details.
C'est un plaisir pour moi de prendre part avec vous à cette cérémonie.
It is a pleasure for me to take part with you in this press award ceremony, the fourth of its kind. This award aims to highlight the professionalism of media's personnel. It is an exhortation to do better. It aims to create a healthy implementation for the women and men of the press. The Ministry of Communication in charge of posts and telecommunications, has always supported initiatives aimed at promoting the press, which does remarkable work on a daily basis with dedicated women and men who are passionate about their profession. As you know, the government has made the development of the press a priority, and it is there, after the establishment of the staff, press and audiovisual regulations, that the daily lives of women and men in the media have been substantially enhanced. For some time now, our department has been engaged in a wide-ranging reform aimed at structuring the media sector, which must keep pace with the new information and communication technologies that are circulating news at dizzying speed.
On the morning of Sunday, 26 July 2020, a strong effervescent team of Union for Cultural Development, better known as under the abbreviations of UDC, which is its President Mohammed Khaire at its head, proceeded to a sportive and educational event which has all its meaning for the community of Andolia locality located at 80 kilometers from Obok City. It was the closure of the football tournament between the young school children of Andoli launched in March 2020, a sporting event including running, football, to create a passion among our youth and school children for everything that has sporting appeal, and to create a responsible, strong youth ready to take over. Let us recall that following the closeness of the tournament, the UDC team, still led by its president, closed the literacy programs in Afar language, which lasted 6 months, and proceeded to the presentation of certificate for the awarded who participate and benefit from this commendable initiative. For the international scene, the head of state of the sub-region endorsed on Monday a 3-hour virtual summit with the mediation effort undertaken for weeks by CDAO. Listen to this report.
The state of the sub-region endorsed on Monday a 3-hour virtual summit, the mediation efforts undertaken for weeks by CDO, said the current chairman of the regional organization, the Nigerian head of state, Mahamadou Issoufou. But they went further by mentioning for the first time a sanctions regime against those who will take acts contrary to normalization, Mr. Issoufou said. In addition, the West African leaders insisted that the measures in their crisis exit plan should be implemented at least by Friday, 31 July.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.